All right, this first one wants to know what plane is parallel, oh, and this is your study guide, to WXT. That's the red one. Well, it'd be this plane in the back right here, VUY. Number 2 wants to know two segments parallel to VU. Well, I know down here, little ZY is parallel. I know WX is parallel. I could also put ST if I were an overachiever. I'm just going to write two of them down. WX. All right. Name two segments parallel to SW. Well, TX, UY, and VZ. All of those would be parallel. I'm just going to write VZ and TX. Name two segments skew to XY. Skew means it's not parallel, but they'll never touch. So right here, my SW, that's never going to touch it, and it's not parallel. TU would also be another option. This VZ would work, or SV. So we've got lots of options we could pick that are skew. They're not parallel and they'll never touch. I'm going to write ST and SV. This last one we need is skew to VZ. Skew to VZ would be anything like this one here is not touching it. This one here would not touch it. You could also use these guys here. So WX, ST. All right, now I'm going to look at this picture and decide what the relationship is between these angles and what my transversal is. So 4 and 10, they're both inside and they're on the same side. So they'd be consecutive interior, and their transversal that they both touch would be K. 8 and 11 here are both outside the yellow, and they're opposite. So they're going to be alternate exterior, and their transversal that they share is going to be M. 1 and 4, I've got one inside, one outside. But they're on opposite sides of the line, so that's nothing. We don't have anything that does that. All right. Here we have 2 and 12. They're both outside the yellow, and they are on the same side of the line, so they would be consecutive exteriors, and their transversal that they share is the K. 5 and 7. I've got one in the yellow, one out, same side. Those are corresponding when they're like that, and their transversal is J. And I have 2 and 13 now. They're both inside, but they're on opposite sides of the line, so they're going to be our alternate interior, and their transversal is the L. All right, I'm going to go through and just identify all the angles, and then you can go back later yourself and fill in the side A, B, C, D. So it says that P and Q are parallel. So these guys are parallel, and it's giving us 131 for 7 and 88 for 16. So I can automatically look, and I know angle 1 is 131. If 16 is 88, 10 is 88. I can look at this as a straight line. So I could say 131 plus whatever angle 2 is, which is an X right now, equals 180. If I subtract that, I come up with 49. If angle 2 is 49, angle 8 is also 49. And because P and Q are parallel, I can follow this pattern. 131, 49, 131, 49, 131 and 49. So let's look at this. So I've got 88s. I'm going to do that same straight line thing and say that whatever 9 is plus 88 is going to equal 180. If I subtract 88, I figure out that angle 9 is 92. So if 9 is 92, 15 is 92. Those lines are parallel. I'm going to follow the pattern 92, 88, 92, 88, 88, 92, 88, 92. All right, you can pause it and fill in the side. And now I'm going to go down to the next one. We'll do the same thing here. I know that A and B are parallel. And I know that 2 is 63, I wrote it in, and 9 is 105. So automatically I can tell you that 7 is 105. I can tell you that 5 is 63. Let's figure out what 8 is. 180. So if I do 105 plus whatever 8 is, I'll get 180. If I subtract that, angle 8 turns out to be 75. If that's 75, angle 10 is 75. I'm going to use my triangle rule right here. And I know that 63 plus 75 plus angle 11, I don't know what it is, equals, we know a triangle is 180. If I add those up and subtract them from 180, angle 11 turns out to be 42. Well, if angle 11 is 42, angle 13 is 42. That's a straight line. 42 plus x equals 180. Subtract 42, and that makes 12, 138. If 12 is 138. 14 is 138. 138 and angle 4 are consecutive interior angles. I know that consecutive interior angles add up to 180. That would make angle 4 42. 138 plus 42 is 180. Angle 1 is vertical, so it's 42. The only thing I have left is 3 and 6. They're on a straight line. It just has 3 parts. So 42 plus 63 plus whatever that is, those 3 together make a straight line. Old school baby math, subtract from 180. I get angle 3 to be 75. Angle 6 is its vertical. So it's also 75. All right, this is asking if I can use the information I'm given to determine if these lines are parallel. Well, 8 and 20 are alternate interiors, and so I can definitely use that to tell me that they are parallel. 1 and 9, I got 1 in, 1 out, same side. Those are corresponding, and I can definitely use that to tell me that those are parallel. This one, those are consecutive interior, and it tells me that they add up to 180. And when I look on my rule board over there, I see that consecutive interior equals 180. So yes, that can tell me they're parallel. Angle 11 and 16 are consecutive interior, and they have to add up to 180, but we don't know that they do that. So this one is a no. We can't prove that those are parallel. 6 and 24, they are consecutive exteriors because they're outside on the same side of the transversal. And we know that their rule is they add up to 180, and this says 6 and 24 equal 180, so yes, those are parallel. 14 and 23 are alternate exteriors, and we know those are congruent. That's what the rule says, so yes, those guys are parallel. 4 and 21 are corresponding. corresponding, because I'm one in, one out, same side, corresponding are congruent, so yes, that can prove it's parallel. It says that 8 and 18 add up to 180, but they don't share a transversal, so that's great that they add up to 180, but that cannot prove that they're parallel. And 5 and 15 are alternate exteriors. We know that alternate exteriors are congruent, so yes, we can prove those are parallel. All right, these two angles in question 14, I can see that they are alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles equal each other. So 14x minus 25 equals 129. So I just need to solve that to figure out what x is. 14x equals 154. Divide by 14, x equals 11. And then their alternate interior angles. Over here on 15, I've got consecutive interior angles. And their rule is that they add up to 180. So 2x minus 8 plus 9x minus 10 equals 180. Old school baby math, 11x negative 18 equals 180. I'm going to add 18 to both sides. 11x equals 198. Divide. X equals 18. And I'm going to go ahead and write all this information in, and I just need you to copy it down. And this last one, I need you to make sure you know all of these formulas, and remember that parallel lines have the same slope, and perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. So pause that and get that information. On number 20, we need to set this up, and we say y2, 4 minus 5 over negative 8 minus negative 11. That gives me the slope of negative 1 over 3. And I was kind and I already gave you the second slope. When these two have the same exact slope, the lines are parallel. This next one, I've got negative 5 minus negative 9 over 3 minus 10. That gives me a slope of negative 4 over 7. When I look at these, one's negative, one's positive, and they've been flipped, so these are perpendicular lines. This, I get 4 minus negative 3 over 9 minus 9, which that would give me a 7 over 0, which would turn out to be undefined. You'd get an error in your calculator. So if those are both undefined, it means they're up and down like this, which means they're parallel. All right, I already solved the first problem for you, and now we'll do the second one. I need to subtract 5x. That leaves me with negative 3y equals negative 5x plus 21. Divide by negative 3. I get y equals 5 over 3x minus 7. Now I need to compare my slopes. I have a negative 3 over 5 and a 5 over 3. Those are opposite reciprocals, so that tells me that these lines are perpendicular. On this next one, I'm just going to subtract x, and I get y equals negative 1 over 1x plus 9. Well, my slopes are 1 over 1 and a negative 1 over 1. Those are opposite reciprocals, so that makes them perpendicular also. This one's really easy. I just got to divide by 10. Y equals 1 over 5x plus 9. Well, I got a 1 over 5 slope and a 1 over 5 slope. That's exactly the same. These lines are parallel. And this is an x equals 5, which would, if you graphed it, it would just be an up and down line. And this is an x equals -2, which would also graph as an up and down line. They're both undefined, which means they're parallel to each other. All right, we are going to plug these into the point slope formula to get an equation. So y minus y1, which is 1, equals 1 over 2. X minus x1 is -6. Two negatives make a positive. Distribute. Y minus 1 equals 1/2 x plus 3. I'm going to add 1. Final answer, y equals 1 over 2x plus 4. Same thing with this one, except I'm going to have to do two formulas. First, I need a slope. So I'm going to say 6 minus 1 over -2 minus 3. When I put that in, I get a slope of -1. So now I can say y minus y1 equals m -1 x minus x1. Distribute. Y minus 1 equals -1 x plus 3. Add 1. Final answer would be y equals -1 x plus 4. This is very similar. It wants a parallel line that is running through these points. So I'm going to take my slope, and it's parallel, so it's the same slope. So I'm just going to say y minus -9, two negatives make a positive, equals m -5 over 2 x minus 8. Distribute. Y plus 9 equals -5 over 2 x plus 20. Subtract 9. Y equals -5 over 2 x plus 11. So that line and this line right here would be parallel lines. Now we're going to do one that makes perpendicular lines. So before I can put it into the formula, I've got x1 and y1, but right now my slope is -4 over 1, and I've got to change it. Opposite reciprocal. Opposite would be positive. Flip it 1 over 4. So that's the slope I have to use. So y minus 10 equals 1 over 4 x minus 4. Distribute. Y minus 10 equals 1 over 4 x minus 1. Add 10. Final answer, y equals 1 over 4 x plus 9.